10 years ago, the unthinkable unfolded in Orlando, Florida. A gunman opened fire inside the Pulse nightclub, killing 49 people and critically injuring dozens more.
In the face of unimaginable tragedy, the community responded with love, compassion, and by donating blood. Join us for this OneBlood special presentation as we remember the lives lost, including a beloved OneBlood team member.
And we honor the survivors, the blood donors, and the strength of a community that came together when it mattered most. Thanks for joining us. I'm Susan Forbes.
And I'm Pat Michaels. In the hours after the Pulse tragedy, people across OneBlood service area were searching for ways to help.
And for many, blood donation became the avenue to not only help, but to provide hope. OneBlood encountered an incredible donor surge. Thousands of people lined up outside of our donor centers in big red buses, some waiting hours to donate. The outpouring of donors so immense that it became part of global news coverage. OneBlood collected 28,500 units of blood in a matter of just a few days.
That's a staggering amount to collect in such a short amount of time. Behind the scenes in biologics, it was all hands on deck, and teams working around the clock to process tens of thousands of donations. And it was then that OneBlood learned that among the 49 lives lost in the Pulse tragedy was someone very close to our OneBlood family.
Yes, Rodolfo Ayala, better known as Rody, was among the victims. Rody was a platelet supervisor in Orlando, but he was more than a colleague. He was also a friend to many. 10 years later, his legacy and spirit live on.
Every day, still missing Rody. His smile and just the joy that he brought on a daily basis. It's something that will live with me forever.
We told each other we'd see each other later, and I told him to have a nice time, not knowing I wouldn't see him again. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was very devastating. I think I put more focus on the survivors and the patients that they were at Orlando Health. I have to compartmentalize. I couldn't deal with it.
We still had blood coming in. We still had hundreds of donors at the door that were willing to donate and perform such a selfless act.
I cut my vacation off completely and just came back, and come help out as much as I can, because that's something that he would have done too if it would happen to any one of us.
He had a lot of the attributes of what we call our core values, right? He was energetic, he got things done, he wanted to advance.
The platelet team that he supervised is still there and thriving, and there are many members that are on the team that just remember his leadership. I want people to remember just how joyous he was.
Y'all would have loved him if he was still here. Y'all would have loved to work with him because he was just so joyous and so encouraging and just a light.
I made a point of stopping by the front desk and looking at his picture. It just gives me a level of comfort that he's still with us as a part of the OneBlood family. Every
time when I come in, I do go over there too. I look at the picture and everything, and I just remember him, and I'm like, oh my God, that smile,
We miss him tremendously. And I know he's always there looking out for us.
You are missed but never forgotten, and you will always be that diamond in the sky.
Every year on June 12th, many of Rody's colleagues gather and release balloons to remember their friend and the lasting impact he made on so many. And they plan to do the very same thing this year as they pause to remember their friend.
The Pulse tragedy is a grim reminder of the need for a ready blood supply. As victims arrived at Orlando Regional Medical Center, Orlando's only Level 1 trauma center, blood was what they needed. We spoke with doctors and nurses who treated the victims, and they shared the vital role blood transfusions played in saving the survivors.
We need blood. Get me some blood. Get me some blood. Get me some blood. That's all we had to do to help these people. That's what they needed so very desperately. I don't know what we would have done if we would not have had that blood.
They were bleeding to death. And so our first priority is to stop the bleeding so that they're not losing blood anymore. And then we have to replace the blood that they have lost. We ended up transfusing 441 units of blood just that morning.
Over the years, we have come to know many of the Pulse survivors who are also blood recipients. Each of them is filled with immense gratitude for the donors who helped save their lives.
I'm just thankful for all the donors, everything. I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Blood donors are the first responders. Without them, it's true, I wouldn't be here. I'm grateful that that was available to me. Without that, I wouldn't even be here and wouldn't be able to fulfill my dreams.
Because of those blood donations, that's why I'm here today. So that's why we are in need of donations 24/7, because you don't know what can happen.
I wouldn't be here. If that blood wasn't available at the moment that I needed it, I wouldn't be here talking to you. They saved a lot of us, and we owe them our lives, like literally. They are real-life heroes.
It's important to remember that it was the blood that was already on the shelves that helped save those Pulse survivors. Donations that were made just days before the tragedy.
And we tracked down some of those donors whose donation went to a Pulse survivor. We brought the donors and the Pulse survivors they helped save face to face in our documentary called Lifeline, The Untold Story of Saving the Pulse Survivors. And many of the donors were overcome with emotion after finding out their donation helped save a Pulse survivor.
When I found out that my donation helped to save a life from the Pulse, it really, really made it real.
I got a call from OneBlood telling me about this, and I was driving. I had to pull over to process what I'd heard. You don't think that that thing is going to impact someone in the way that it does.
Finding out months later that my blood actually went to a survivor was amazing, because it really solidified that I was a part of something bigger.
Lifeline, The Untold Story of Saving the Pulse Survivors is available on Amazon Prime and Tubi. If you haven't seen it already, we encourage you to please take some time to watch it. It tells the story of the vital role blood donors played in saving the Pulse survivors, and also what was playing out inside the hospital and behind the scenes at OneBlood.
What we said on June 12, 2016 still holds true today. Don't wait for a tragedy to become a blood donor.
Remembrance blood drives are being held in Orlando June 1st through June 12th. Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer, who was O negative, and Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings, who was O positive, spoke to the media about the need for the community to donate blood.
Out of one of the darkest moments in our community's history, we witnessed the very best of humanity through compassion, unity, service, and that spirit continues today. I truly do know the value firsthand of the critical donation of blood and what it means to saving lives.
After the Pulse tragedy, our community vowed that Orlando would not be defined by one hateful act. Instead, we would be defined by our response, and that response was with love and compassion. And that sentiment and our unity was certainly on display in the hours and days following June the 12th. Thousands of residents waited in line to donate blood when they were asked to. We know that we need blood donations, and the need for them didn't end after Pulse. Hospitals in our community rely on donors every single day.
When it comes to blood donor eligibility, a significant change has happened since Pulse. The FDA's donor eligibility criteria that was in place at the time of the tragedy made it challenging for gay and bisexual men to donate blood.
It's a policy the blood industry had been advocating to have changed, and in 2023, the FDA eliminated the policy. It all revolved around the donor history questionnaire. In the past, there were questions based on gender and sexual orientation, and it made it challenging for gay and bisexual men to donate blood. In the new version of the questionnaire, those questions have been eliminated, and now all donors, regardless of gender or sexual orientation, are asked the same questions to determine if they are eligible to donate blood.
The FDA's individual donor assessment policy further ensures safety of the blood supply, treats all donors equally, and gives more people the opportunity to donate blood.
OneBlood was actually part of a national study called the Advance Study that helped change the policy. Another significant change since the Pulse tragedy is the implementation of the pre-hospital blood program. That program enables emergency medical services to provide blood transfusions in the field rather than wait for a patient to make it to the hospital. The program is up and running in many parts of OneBlood service area, including Orange County, where the Pulse tragedy happened. The pre-hospital blood program has proven that the sooner a patient in need of a blood transfusion can receive blood, the greater chance they will survive. As we saw in 2016, tragedy can strike in an instant, and it's the blood already on hand that will be used to save lives.
Blood donors truly are the first responders. They do their part days before the blood is needed, and as a result, help save lives.
If you are eligible to donate, we encourage you to please make blood donation a habit. And if you've never donated before, now is a great time to start.
As we close out the show, we leave you with images from 10 years ago of how Orlando came together in the face of unimaginable tragedy.
I think it's important that the whole community comes together and tries to help out where it's needed.
Trying to do my part in order to help those who were affected and trying to help the victims, their families, whatever I can do.
I'm just overwhelmed by just the outpour of people coming here, today to do this.